Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Today, I would like to share with you about AAP 2023 planning and the CNF budget requirement for ONAP. And first, I would like to give some introduction about AAP. And you know that AAP is evolved from OAP. And now AAP means Allocate Assurance Program. And it is an open source community-led compliance and verification program to demonstrate the readiness and availability of commercial cloud-native and virtualized product and service. Now, the scope of the compliance program includes verification of FA-based infrastructure, cloud-native infrastructure, 1F and CNF workloads using ONAP and Allocate network management and orchestration components. And the program's goal is to enable an industry effort focused on end-to-end system validation and interoperability integration through all parts of the stack. Okay, now the Allocate and the ONAP community have now joined forces to enable infrastructure and workload conformance testing. Allocate Assurance is the first of its kind to combine automated compliance and verification testing for cloud-native and virtualized stacks, allowing participants to establish based conformance and interoperability with their commercial offers. Allocate Assurance is overseen by the IRF Networking Compliance and Verification Committee, CVC. Participants is open to all vendors, but compliance and verification badge must be member of RF networking. And from the communications service providers and vendors, they can get benefits from AP. Here summarize the benefits. And from service provider perspective, through AAP testing and verification, it can accelerate time to deployment for new network service and improve the interoperability and the software quality across the different software layer at the stack. So it can also reduce in-house testing effort and reduce the costs, and also improve the utilization of the hardware. For the vendors, once their products are verified by AAP, it will prove that their products meet the reference specification required by operators, so that it can first improve time to revenue for new product offering, and also achieve great alignment with service provider customers' requirements. Also, it can easily demonstrate the product quality through open ecosystem testing, and finally leverage the community to reduce in-house efforts. Now, here you see it shows the Allocate Assurance compliance badges. It will contain 3 categories, including the infrastructure, workload, and lab. Once the Allocate Assurance infrastructure badge has been earned, it means that the SUT has met the infrastructure requirements of the Allocate reference architecture release 1 or 2, separately corresponding to the CNF and NFVI infrastructure and the cloud native infrastructure. Similarly, in order to get the indicator assurance workload badge, the SUT would be expected to meet the requirements of the indicator reference conformance release 1 or 2 or ONAP 1F CNF requirements. Of course, according to SUT, different type of workload such as 1F or CNF, you can get different subtype badge for the SUT. The last badge category is indicator assurance, the lab. This badge will be awarded to the labs that meet the testing and the verification requirements of AAP. For the infrastructure and the workload providers, they can provide their products to indicator assurance lab to apply to verify whether their products meet the requirement of AAP and obtain the corresponding badges. Okay, AAP now only provides the FAI infrastructure badge, cloud native infrastructure badge, and the VNF workload badge last year. And this year, it will expand the badge scope to include more badges, such as the CNF workload and lab badges. Now, most of the requirements for workload and the lab is come from ANICID. Here shows a line planning for supporting CNF and the lab badge between ANICID and the CVC. And we finally expect that the ANICID assurance new badge will be available to public in March. Now, we are doing some pilot, and we would like to offer this AP release in March, and to align the ANICID requirements for CNF and lab. And we know that, in fact, before AAP, ONAP always been actively supported the previously OAP 1F certification program. We know that I also mentioned that AP evolved from OAP, and both the 1F testing from ONAP is inherited from OAP to AP, and we also hope ONAP can continue to support AP CNF badges. We know that in terms of NF badge support, ONAP provide the VNF compliance testing cases, which verifies the VNF template files, verify whether the VNF template files conform to the requirements from ONAP, and the VNF validation test cases, which verifies the VNF whether the VNF can be instantiated and orchestrated by ONAP. And from the CNF perspective, we need to identify how ONAP supports the CNF workload badge. Now, from my understanding, there are at least 3 CNF orchestration paths in ONAP. One is SOCNF orchestration path. The other is ATC alignment CNF orchestration path. And from Jakarta and coin release, there is a new path called ASD-based CNF orchestration path. So if from ONAP part, if we would like to support the AP program, the first we need to do is that we should identify which approach should be adopted by AAP And of course, in addition to this question, we also need to consider the further questions to supporting the AP program. And in this slide, I also listed some of the other questions for ONAP community. And we should first, we should explore the most valuable CNF testing and certification requirements for CNF vendors and operators. And so that if we have some input for this requirement, we can easily to decide the minimum conformance and validation requirements for CNF that can be included in the AAP 2023 release. And in each year, we may publish at least 2 releases for AAP, so we can catch up the AAP planning. And the third question, we should identify which release would be used for the AP 2023 CNF badges, and to make the two organization, including CNF, including CVC and the ONAP, to align their release plan to better match each other steps for the CNF supporting. And the first question, we know that from ONAP part, the welfare requirement is no maintained, and so that we need to identify if we explore this most valuable requirements, which project can define their testing requirements. When maybe from my understanding, maybe the modeling community should play this role to define the AP CNF requirements. And for the first question, and we also need to provide the testing framework to support this testing case implementation. So, and the last question is that if we provided this testing and the implementation, are there any potential vendors that can participate in the CNF badges? And this the questions I summarized for ONAP community to think about how to cooperate with CVC to support the CNF testing. And I believe these questions are beneficial to our thinking. At least I hope it can play a guide role. And I am looking forward to more discussion and cooperation with ONAP from CVC side. And the last, I also want to give you an introduction about how to earn AP badge now. And now AP have 5 steps to earn the AP badge. And the first step, you can review the educator assurance, the terms and the conditions to get familiar with this program. And then you should, if you want to apply the AP badges, you should complete and submit the participation form. And for the third step, you should conduct the appropriate batches testing according to your application and SUT by yourself or in AAP lab, and this decided by your SUT type, and you should check which requirement is corresponding to your SUT. And further, next step, when you finish the testing, you can submit this testing result for CVC review. And once CVC reviewed the testing, and you will get the notification of verified and successful compliance. And finally, the appropriate allocation assured badge will be awarded. And here I also give some link here. If you would like to get more information for AP, you can check the link here. And yes, that's all the content I share you today. And thank you. And we also hope get more input from ONAP side to supporting our AP program from the CNF side. Okay. Any questions for my content?
There's some questions in the chat if you have time to respond.
Yes, and from the CNF side, they also provided the CNF compliance program, and in fact, from last year, from CVC side, we also get some cooperation with CNF, and we are also analysis CNF testing cases, and from CNF side, they more focus on the whether the CNF is conform to the cloud-native principle. And maybe I think from ONAP side, such as like similarly with VNF supporting the OAP program, from ONAP side, we should more consider, especially from the obstetrician perspective, how the CNF can be successfully and initiated by ONAP. I think that's the difference. Yes, thank you for posting the link here, Victor. Thank you. Is there any other questions?
Okay, if not, Yan, you go ahead and stop the recording.
Okay.
And reassign host back to me.